Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. Let's see if the correct microphone. No, the correct microphone will not come on. We had a mic check challenge. My producer is in the UK. He went to sleep. And so we do not have the right mic on. And I don't know if people can hear me properly or not. Aya Bear, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me, but just
Yes.
not on the correct mic.
No, the sound sounds good.
The sound sounds good? Because over here, it looks
Yes.
like it's overblasting. But if people are hearing me okay, we're just going to run with it. I'm so excited.
You sound good.
All right. I'm so excited to talk with people here tonight, and I'll let you go there. I am suspect of the microphone, but everybody tell me Jerry says it sounds great. Thank you so much. Here's the little backstory. So I channeled this talk for tonight because I've had so many guests saying, will humanity split? Is there going to be a mass exodus? And going back and forth on this. So everybody's saying the sound is good. The meters are showing that it's not so good. But if everybody says it's good, we're just going to run with that. And I believe you, and I love you. And I believe my guests, and I love them. But so many people have been talking about humanity splitting, mass exodus, all of this stuff that I wanted to get the story straight. Hello, Stephanie Lecour, up in Canada, up in Quebec, perhaps. And I wanted to do it tonight because I also wanted to share with you about an automatic writing program that I've got with Mike Dooley later this week. And so, shameless plug, I'll be sharing about that throughout the show. However, here's the kicker. My wife and I are going on our second honeymoon tomorrow. Actually, in about, we'll be leaving in about 10 and a half hours. No, 9.5 hours from now, we'll be leaving. And it has been a whirlwind of getting ready because last week I was with my parents, helping them through Alzheimer's and other similar challenges, early onset or things of that sort. So it's been an interesting time. So I'm getting ready tonight. We're packing. I'm going to do this beautiful show with you. Don't worry, we're going to get started in just a second. I'll probably be speaking way too fast so that I can get back to the packing. And right before I go on air, Jessica goes, oh, there we go. She goes, or I said, we didn't get to the haircut that we were going to do a day or two ago before the show. And this is now 6 minutes before the show. She goes, well, how about now? And I'm like, well, under normal circumstances, I'd say no, but tomorrow we're going to be in Costa Rica where it's 100 degrees. So, okay. And so here we are. So please forgive me, everybody. And then we had the mic challenges. Let's dive into things. And I'm going to try to bring as much of a grounded, centered place as I can, while at the same time do get to go on that second honeymoon tomorrow. And Candy is mentioning about dealing with people with Alzheimer's, my parents. And I do come back and then 36 hours later go to help move my parents up north and see where we get to go in this great, fantastic, amazing, challenging journey with them. And if you're going down this same road, my heart goes out to you because the caregiver's journey is not easy. And my dad had been going downhill. Is that the right way? Can I say that? My dad's memory had been more challenged than my mom until about a year ago. And now hers is racing downhill fast. And his is actually coming back up because he gets to take care of her, which is both a beautiful thing to see and incredibly challenging for our family dynamic because this is a role my dad has never had before. And so it's a really interesting thing to watch, and he's challenged. And the caregiver's role, what are his new role? What are his boundaries? It's such a wild game. So thank you, Paradoxical. Declining. So I try to use the most positive terms I can. So basically, the best way that I've described and heard it described for Alzheimer's and things of that sort is your hard drive is filled up. And so it appeared his hard drive was near 100% full, and my mom's was still at 70 or 80%. Now hers appears to be at just about 90 some odd percent, and his is back down around the 80% or so. All right. So let's go for it. Let's talk here tonight. Somebody just mentioned, I do have my regular automatic writing class tomorrow night. You don't have to worry about that. I have my usual automatic writing class, which is going to be awesome. But I do have a very special 4-week class with Mike Dooley starting on Thursday that's actually very cost effective. It's like $29.95 or pay whatever you want to pay, something like that. And I'll have Aya Bear put the link there. But let's jump into the teaching, shall we? All right, let me pull that up here. And thank you all for your patience. This has been an interesting ride the last few weeks, and certainly an interesting ride for us today. Oh, for all of my School of Mystics members, well, for everybody who's taken the automatic writing class with me tomorrow, it's going to be from Costa Rica. For everybody who's in the School of Mystics on Wednesday, arriba, we're going to be doing it live from Costa Rica. How does it get any better than this? Then we go into full honeymoon mode. All right, so I had to ask the angels, the guides in my automatic writing, which is what I'm teaching. I had to ask, is humanity really splitting? Because we've had James Van Praagh on, we've had so many amazing guests on about this, that I was very curious from the guides and angels that speak with me, what's the true scoop? And what I got is basically a line from The Godfather, something that Don Corleone would say, if I got that right. You can have things the easy way or the hard way right now. Easy way or the hard way. Meaning humanity is splitting based on how you wish to perceive the world. One side doesn't go away. One side doesn't elevate, and the other side is going into the trenches, at least literally. However, perceptually, it may well be that way. So this is a very interesting, difficult, challenging time and topic that requires a special lens. What do I mean, difficult, challenging time that requires a special lens? Last week was a good example. It sounds so trite, but forgive me. Last week, we get a hotel for our second honeymoon. Yay! Or actually, it was going to be an Airbnb. Yay! And it's perfect, and we have the space, and there's room for Hannah Bear, and we can record or do whatever we want. And it's so awesome, and it's in the town that we want. And then we go to book our rental car a couple days later, and the Airbnb had been canceled and was no longer available. And we couldn't get a refund. Oh, goody. This is kind of representative of the world today. If we look at the outer circumstances, if we look at it through the lens of, shit's going down, then what we see is shit's going down. If we look at it from a different lens, not a Pollyannish lens, not a lens of, oh, kumbaya, life is good, everything's perfect, but if we look at it from a higher vantage point, my recommendation, do something like automatic writing. Doesn't have to be automatic writing. Do something that plugs you in on a daily basis, or like Mystics, but whatever it is, so that you're living at this higher, or shall I say this deeper level. Meaning, where you're fully plugged in and understanding the big picture. And what happens is you go, holy crap, that's really where I wanted to stay. And again, this is so trite compared to what's going on in the world. So please forgive me for this really silly example. You go, there's more going on than meets the eye. You go to your angels and guides. You go into your meditative practice. You go into whatever you have. And you say, what's going on and what do I do about this? In my case, they said, move slowly, see what avails itself to you, see what opens itself up to you, be open. And so the next day I'm on the phone, and this is a whole long process. Can't get you in that place, can't get you in that town, can get you close, might actually, of course, cost a little bit more, but let's see what we can do. And at this point, the human side of me. This is something that's coming up in Suzanne Giesman's show this Thursday. Oh my God, what an amazing show. The human side of me kicks in and goes, I just want my money back. Let me contact the credit card. I just want my money back. It's the human side. But this is talking about the easy way or the hard way. When you stay fully plugged in at this time, you're able to hear better and listen. And so I'm going, that's it. We just want to cancel. This is my human side speaking. And then I'm like, and I don't say it quite that way. I say it a lot more calmly. But then I hear, oh, stop, pause. See what avails itself. See what is possible. And what happened is, now I haven't been there yet. It's the next town over. The town we were supposed to stay in has a tremendous amount of construction right now. It was a concern of ours, all the noise. This next town, much quieter. Hopefully not too quiet. But we ended up with kind of this, I don't even know how to describe it. I imagine when we get there, this is going to be one of these places that we dreamed about. And it's got its own private pool in a private courtyard, so we can spend 7 days teaching Hana Bear finally how to swim. Private pool in a private courtyard. And temperature is supposed to be approaching 100 degrees, quite warm in Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that is. And so we have our own pool and can stay cool. That came out of plugging in and surfing a higher wave rather than a lower one. A higher wave. That's what this time period is all about. You can have things the higher wave, you can have things the lower wave. So, while humanity is splitting, it's really about the perception we're going to have during this time. So it's true. There still is there are going to be people checking out, of course. This is a very tumultuous time, whether that's from fire, from flood, from famine, from war, or it's really a time period that looks like massive neglect, particularly for those who don't have the finances. Ooh. The universe says, and this is hard to understand, the universe says that everybody came in with their old soul plan. And if that soul plan means that you're supposed to check out early, there is some great purpose for this. That's a real hard one for me to share on a human level. Because I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want anybody suffering. But what they say more than that is, rather than being just a mass exodus, and they're not speaking about millions and millions of people transitioning. That's not what I'm hearing yet. But they're saying that it is millions and millions that will evolve or awaken during this time. That's what's really cool to me. This is, we've seen all the thumbnail titles and stuff. This is the Great Awakening. It is an opportunity to play at that higher level, even while a lot of people don't yet. That's the split. There are those who are willing for great change. My dad called me on the phone earlier today and said, Mom's not good at change. I'm not good at change either, though I'm going to try to change as much as I can right now. It's pretty awesome. There are those who cannot change during this time, and they are going to struggle even more so. Temporarily, I believe everybody will come along. And there are those like yourself where it may be, and like myself, tremendously uncomfortable, but we're ready and willing to take the deep dive. That's what this is about. It's not about there being a mass exodus literally. That's not what I'm hearing. But we're seeing it as a metaphor. The mass exodus is checking out from what's really taking place, not what's taking place that we read about in X or social media or whatever, wherever we get our news. Meaning, we're not seeing that humanity is expanding, is growing, is awakening, is ascending. And so there is going to be that level of humanity that rises upwards during this time. And there's going to be this level of humanity that stays in a greater state of fear. That's the split that's taking loose. Fear is running rampant right now. Fear is absolutely running rampant. Unless it's not. So every article you read in the news right now is declaring fear, is declaring war, is declaring, what is it now? Fear of gangs, fear of being told to fear of being told something in our bones. There's this to fear. I'm making sure it's not I, a bear running through. It is my producer contacting me saying, can I fix the mic? And he's saying a request. He's going to hop on the laptop. What's that going to do for my notes? This is the big question. He's hopping on to try to get us on the correct mic. I have a degree. I have a few different degrees. It's not important. No degrees. It's all not important. But my first degree with two disciplines or two specialties is international law or international affairs and constitutional law. That head part of my mind from a long time ago is going right now. And the stuff that's taking place with constitutional challenges and lawyer-esque challenges in the U.S. right now is, to my mind, all I have is French words for it. I don't even have the English words for it, for how incredulous it is. If I view it from a human landscape, from that landscape to fear, oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh my gosh, what's going to take place? Oh my gosh, or oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That is the old fear way of being. That higher level that you get when you plug in through an automatic writing, or you plug in through another practice, or you plug in through wherever it is and you hear from Spirit, is exactly what Suzanne Giesman says on Thursday's show. Isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting what's going on right now? That's what we're talking about. Isn't this interesting? So we look at the challenges with the U.S. and now with the economy and the stock market and the this and the that. And we can say, isn't that interesting when we're playing at the higher level? Now, this does not take away that you may be really, really struggling. And a fear of a starvation is a real thing. I have had on my door many years ago that pink note, that notice to evict. I have had the summer of eating straight dog food. I have had 2 years of no gas in my house and running, thankfully kept the electric on, and running the stove with a fan in the winter to keep the pipes from breaking. I get it, and we really do have to get a manifestation class. But we can still get through that time period without going to a state of fear. So this is the thing. Fear is being... here's a great example. There was some article yesterday saying, well, we didn't mean it to be this way, but now nuclear blah, 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 blah. Fear, 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 fear. However, what if we look at this fear as something that's being gifted to you to help elevate your consciousness? Michael, how is fear? Paul Blart. Dog food? Really? Yes, actually there was a vegan dog food. All I remember was it came in a green bag and I served it to the dogs and I served it to myself for a summer. And after the summer, when greater income came in for my coaching at that time it was ADD coaching and those with learning disabilities. When I would feed the dogs, I would start, so Pavlovian response, I would literally start to salivate. It was bad news bears, but I made it through that time period and I didn't lose my home. By the grace of God, the universe, everything, a whole bunch of miracles that I didn't lose my home. If you understand, as the world splits right now, if you understand this one thing, it changes everything. And this goes along with Paul Blart. What flavor? Dog food flavor. I don't know. It tasted like dried biscuits. If you realize you are a creator, are you a part of the totality of the whole of the Creator. You are all powerful. Can you heal? Absolutely. Can you walk on water if we truly believed it? Could we completely change this world? You're doing it just by watching this, just by participating in the energy that I'm sharing. You are changing the world. Just by being you, you are changing the world. It all begins with your state. No, not state in the US, and no, Canada. I love you very much. You are not the 51st state. It all begins with, I can't believe I even had to say that. It all begins with your emotional state. Your emotional state is energy in motion. When you learn to play with your emotional state and how you perceive the world, which is all about plugging into spirit, plugging into you at the higher level of beingness. When you learn how to do that, everything around you changes. Your health, your well-being, your finances, and even how you see the world. That's the big split that's taking place. Your perception of the world completely changes based on your emotional response or your energetic response to the world. This is a huge split because most people are not trained and entrained right now how to work on their energies, how to work on their emotions. This is something, why do I promote automatic writing so much and School of Mystics, but in this case, automatic writing? Because when your guides start talking to you, when your angels start talking to you, they attune you to a different frequency. And though you may still trip and fall, you can ask Aya Bear, who was on the phone with me earlier, you can still trip and fall and be very human about things. You don't fall as far, and you bounce right back up to a higher level, which is really a higher perception. This is the 5D way, a higher perception of beingness. When you start plugging in, so each morning, here's what I do. Each morning, I get up. I go, and my screen right now is being taken over by the producer, so we're going to wing this. Each morning, I get up. I crawl over to the bathroom, do what I need to do. Try not to wake the kitties. Usually Sir Meowser's is going to need some food. I hop back in bed with my computer. I put on my headphones so it's nice and quiet. I put on some theta brain entrainment music. And if I had a dream that I remember, I write down my dream. And if not, I go right into my automatic writing. And I ask my angels and guides, what do I need to know today? And it's off to the races. But then I will ask them, why am I feeling this way? Why did I experience this? Oh my God, there was this story in the news yesterday, and I'm trying not to pay attention, but I'm keeping an eye on things for everybody who I'm speaking with. What in the world? And that's rare that I actually say that at this point. But if that took place, I'd say, what in the world is going on? And then they'd be like, dear one, let us explain this to you at an even higher level. Here's what's going on, dear one. Here's why this is taking place. Here's what you can learn from it. And here's what's truly coming out of this beautiful experience. That's what I get in automatic writing. Then I can ask specific. Hey, we're taking our honeymoon next week. The housing situation didn't quite work out. What can I learn about that? Is there anything I need to pack? Is there anything I need to take with me? What is going big picture in our lives? And I ask all these questions. Then I write my daily woohoo. I highly recommend you sign up for a daily woohoo free newsletter each and every day if you haven't done that. And then I go about my day. But what happens, and this has everything to do with the split, is I have now been attuned, or like a tuning fork, vibrated at a very high level. And I will vibrate at that level for the rest of the day ahead. And because of the vibration or the energy level that I am at, every experience I have will be a higher level experience too. It doesn't mean there won't still be challenges. It doesn't mean that you will, I want to say, get away scot-free. I did a bike race this weekend. It was a training race because I'm a triathlete, so bike racing isn't really my game at this point. And I was kind of in between. It was this timed event, And somehow I fell in between the cracks, between the shorter event and the longer event. And I think I ended up doing an extra lap or an extra 50 minutes out on the course. Stuff will still happen. Actually, I think it was quite good for my health. Stuff will still happen. But your response and therefore the ripple effect that takes place will be radically different because of it. That's what we're talking about here. The split that's taking place is how you will internally respond to this, and therefore what you will broadcast out to the world afterwards. What does that mean, broadcast out to the world? 2025 is what I call a year of amplification. What does that mean? Every thought, every feeling, every idea, everything about you is being amplified right now. It's why if you ground and plug in this month in the School of Mystics, our theme is grounding. These waves of energy or these waves of fear pass over you and are not amplified. But if you don't have a group or if you don't have a process, that fear inside of you starts to grow heavier and heavier and heavier still until you pop, which is not a bad thing. The pop can be the awakening, or you stop becoming you. That's the big concern at this time. When we're talking about, Jack just mentioned the word emergency. When we're talking about an emergency or a split, the danger is becoming an alternative, more afraid version of yourself. Stop becoming you. What does that mean? It means you are the creator. You are magnificent. You are incredible. You are wonderful. You are the best of the best of the best. And yet, if you go to a place of fear, you forget that. You forget who and what you are, and you forget that even until your last breath, you are more in charge of the creative process than you could ever imagine. Michael, till my last breath? Yeah. The difference you can make in someone else's life, even to that last breath, whether it's true or whether it's folklore. Steve Jobs supposedly on his last breath said, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." His last breath changed lives, inspired lives, gave people hope. He created a new reality for those he left behind just through his last breath and his last words. You can make a difference here on earth every single moment you have. What this means is we plug in at a higher level. That's the split. Rather than withering away like a potted plant that's lost its connection to the sun or lost its source of water. That is the split. Either we plug more into the source or we unplug from that source and we begin to wither away. Those who plug in and remain steadfast at this time actually come out stronger. I went to the gym after a week and a half off and I set a new personal record for, record for the first time in 20 years? I guess so. Today. Staying plugged in, you come out stronger. Despite the challenges, or even especially because of the challenges. While others who are steeped in this anger, who are steeped in this fear, it clouds their judgment, it clouds their vision, it clouds their lives. Don't know where to turn. This is the split. There will be two worlds. There will be the world of those acting out of love and understanding and plugged into source and plugged into the universe, plugged into their angels and plugged into their guides, even in the bewilderment of the moment and the current environment. That, of course, will take place. We can still be going, I was certainly on the phone last week, what the? I think Hannah Bear actually said, what the? Yeah, we can still have that bewilderment, and we can actually go to a higher level. In essence, plugging in at the higher level and plugging into hope. There will be those acting though out of fear and desperation, unplugged, feeling powerless, feeling hopeless, and willing, this is this prediction for this summer, to turn to violence to change the current state. Without judgment, there is no right, there is no wrong. I want to say there is no good, there is no bad, but I prefer it to be all out of a loving state. But there is certainly an easy way or a hard way. Now, the path of love may necessitate very strong actions indeed, and perhaps even going out onto the street, but it will be coming from a different place. Both places lead to change. One will be a more awake, aware version of the future. I am a creator. We are all creators. We are all one. Let's rock this place together. What can we do? That's one way. The other will be steeped in fear and an amygdala response of the past. What's an amygdala response? Put 'em up. Put 'em up. You can actually see that split taking place. And this is why I'm doing this today. Not just to promote automatic writing, and I will tell you about that in a little bit. Not just to say plug in at a high level doing what I do. No. Find your own means, find your own technique, find your own path. But by God, pun intended, I guess, make sure you plug in during this time. So one could say you could take the high road or the low road, but that implies judgment. There's no judgment for anybody. If you see somebody in tremendous fear, you do not judge them. You love them up with everything you've got. If you see somebody acting out of tremendous fear or hatred or malice, you don't have to hang with them. Do not judge them, but send them all the love in the world you can. What I'm asking you to choose right now, and I know you're already doing it, is to choose the road less traveled, the road or path of plugging in and tapping on my heart, plugging into love. That's the easier path, plugging into love. You could take the harder path, though, plugging into the road or taking the road of separation and fear. If you choose the path of love, it does not abdicate your responsibility to share your love for the world. I can't say, oh, I'm doing my automatic writing, I'm doing my prayer, I'm doing my meditation, I'm doing my YouTube, therefore I can just cut somebody off. No, nothing of the sort. What it does mean, though, you get to take those actions, those loving actions, in a more playful, uplifting, up-leveling way. And you get to keep plugging in and asking for guidance. Then you start spiraling upwards the mountains, upwards, 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 higher and higher and higher still. Yes, I hear people plugging into love, trusting love. Danuta, not judging is hard for me when people are nasty, but I do try to pick the road less traveled, at least be neutral. Danuta, it is challenging. Here's the thing, though. Nastiness comes from one thing. Their own fear and separation. Yes, that's two things. It's really the same thing. All fear comes from separation. I am alone. I must fight. Fight against you. Fight against nature. Fight against humanity. It's a cold, cruel world. When you're trained in that, you can act pretty nasty. And if somebody treats somebody who's nasty, it is off to the races. If, on the other hand, you hear them, you send them love, you can even send them love remotely, you can even read the news and go, that's my nasty alert. I send love. Oh my God, I can't believe what they're doing. Oh my God, oh my God. I send love. I often do that. I look at now, because this year, in the past, I stayed away from the negative worthless stimulation. Now I'm staying more informed right now. Informed is an interesting term because it is all story. This I talked about with Suzanne Giesman too. But I'll step back from it. And if I feel my energy wavering at all, I will step back right away. And I will go sit down where I do my automatic writing. And I will start sending love to all of the characters in the story. They're all characters in the story. Catherine Willett says, garlic is good for everything. It is, Catherine, except I have been microbiome tested to find out that I have over hydrogen, not methane, over hydrogen producing bacteria in my gut. And therefore, I have to watch my food intake, specifically things called FODMAPs that I've never heard of. And garlic is one of the highest on the FODMAP index. So I am temporarily garlic free. There's that for a diversion. We get to send love to the very characters we favor or like the least. That is the path less traveled. Sending love to the characters we like the least. Why? And this gets right back to automatic writing, and it's why I go into it each and every day to tune me up, to tune me up, to tune me up. It's why I do the daily Woohoo newsletter, to pass that attunement on to you. It's why I teach the School of Mystics, to pass those attunements on to you. But you can get it straight from the horse's mouth by going into your automatic writing or whatever process is for you and talking to Spirit at this time, which can actually get quite fun. I'll tell you more about it in a little bit, but this course I did, which is a 4-week course with Mike Dooley, is really fun. Yes, there are still going to be challenges. Yes, this year, 2025, is going to be 2025 no matter how plugged in you are. But it can actually be more fun. It can be more interesting. It can be more, Suzanne Giesman, was it? No, Sheila Gillette, maybe it was. I interviewed Sheila this past week too. Said, I don't like the word exciting, because the word exciting implies a roller coaster. And so she said, instead I choose, I think it was actually Suzanne, to call this a year that could be filled with greater enthusiasm. How's that? A year with greater enthusiasm, where you can literally have fun during these times. Can you have fun if you're a federal worker? Yes, you can still have fun. Can you have fun if, oh my God, the whole country seems to be turned against you? Yes, you can still have fun. Fun is an inside job. Enthusiasm is an inside job. It doesn't mean that you don't duck and cover. It doesn't mean that you don't cross your I's and dot your T's. But you can have fun almost no matter what. Nancy, make sure that you have a clearing done on you. You can have fun almost no matter what if you choose to stay plugged in. That's what this time period is so crazy amazing about. If you plug in, you're part of that humanity that is ascending. And because of the amplification of the energy, you go whee up. It doesn't mean you don't still have challenges. You may have the summer of dog food. You may have the pink slip on your door. Don't get me wrong. There can be really, really scary challenges. And you can still stay plugged in at the highest level. You can welcome in a sense, see the falling away of the old and welcome in the new. This is what's happening. There are so many teachers right now. There's a reason. So many teachers and channelers are hopeful for the future. Just this week alone, Suzanne Giesman, hopeful for the future. Oh my gosh, Sheila Gillette, hopeful for the future. Everybody they channel, hopeful for the future. James Von Prague, hopeful for the future. On and on it goes, hopeful for the future. The reason so many channelers are hopeful for the future is because that's what we're hearing, and that's what I'm hearing too. I'm just hearing that it's so much easier if we stay plugged in and if we choose to do the work at this time. For this becomes a very chaotic, messy, and yet uplifting, empowering, and wondrous time. Not even despite what you're seeing, but because of what you're seeing. We can look on a day-to-day reality in the U.S., actually worldwide with all our power systems right now. And the story is, oh my God. Okay, you can listen on one platform or another and not be quite as oh my God, but there's still a lot of oh my God going around. And this is without judgment, without sides. There are no sides on Around Planet. We're all going through this together. No matter whether we like who's in charge or don't like who's in charge, whatever country you are, we're all going through this together. But what's going on right now is a powerful last gasp of the old, a last gasp of separation, a last gasp of derision and division. My country is better than your country. My walls are better than your walls. My tariffs are better than your tariffs. all this derision and division. But what it's actually doing, if you dig beneath the surface, is it's dismantling the old to allow on the new. I'm not suggesting that I want anybody to lose their job, to lose their career, to lose their path, to lose their way. Although I hope, if that is you, you choose to believe something more positive and powerful can come. And I promise something more positive and powerful can come. But the dismantling can be looked at as the most awful thing in the world. And I'm not suggesting, hey, let's burn this ship to the ground. Or we can look at it as a story from a different lens. The story from a different lens is that it's allowing a gap, it's allowing space, it's allowing a newness to replace it, it's allowing a sense of hope, a sense of togetherness, a sense of oneness. What do you mean a sense of hope, of togetherness, of oneness? Well, I love Canada, and I like to spend as much time as I can up there. I love you guys. And we were fortunate enough to spend almost not the last 6 months, but spend 6 months last year in Quebec. And it was a beautiful, amazing time. And the Canadian people, this is dumbing it down to a really stupid level. So forgive me. The Canadian people were struggling with their own political reinvention, their own political systems, their own malaise of heaviness, for lack of another term, this past year, until the new presidential administration in the US. And suddenly, inexplicably, everybody is becoming prouder to be Canadian, prouder of their country, prouder of, you can say, their homeland, prouder of coming together as one. You could say, yeah, but that's against a common enemy. No. Their heart, their light inside of them is lighting up, is illuminating, is on fire. It used to be that the Quebecois, and I lived in Quebec, Quebecois wanted to separate from the rest of Canada. Not right now. Everybody coming together as one. Hello, Tracy. Coming together as one. Yeah, but that's because, well, we can view it two different ways. You can view it as that's terrible what's going on in the South. And oh my God, I would not feel very comfortable if somebody's telling me we're going to make you the 51st state. We can view it through that lens of fear. Or we can view it from the lens of, oh my God, we're coming together, we're finding a new way, we're sparked, we're on fire, we're ignited, this is beautiful, this is amazing. That's what this time period is all about. It's how you view it with what lens you have or what lens you plug into. If you view it from this lens, this is why I recommend going into your automatic writing or a similar process every single day, because it adjusts your focal point, how you see the world, how you perceive things. And as your focus, you come into a different focus. Your immediate world changes, and the world around you changes as well. Doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but how you perceive them and interact them and respond to them will be completely different. That's what we're talking about. Heck, I apologize for being, 8 minutes late tonight. Oh my God, I guess I took the haircut at the last minute. There is no way, based on my to-do list, I should have been able to do any show today, any show at all. However, angels got my back. I can do this. It's all going to work out. I'll let you in a little secret. The angels have your back. You can do this. It will all work out. And you can vibrate at a higher level through all of this. More playful, more powerful, more hopeful, more connected. That's what this time period is all about. This is the choice. Connected. That's who and what you are. You're an empath. Every single person here tonight. I'm looking at Paul. I'm looking at Julie. I'm looking at Candy. I'm looking at Lisa. I'm looking at Fallon. I'm looking at Bree. Every single person here is so connected on the inside. You feel everything. You feel everyone. We can all be played for that fear or feeling and go into fear. And that's a very hard year and hard time indeed. Or we could say, I am so plugged in and connected. This is amazing. I want to take this connection to an even higher level, shift my energy on the inside, and then begin to shift everybody's energy around me. Somebody just said, I missed the message about losing their job. And I didn't cast the rest of the message except for caring for their daughter. And I send so much love your way, and I don't make light of it. When I used to do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and I do very, very little of it. This is not me promoting one-on-one coaching. I'll promote automatic writing, and I'll get to that in a minute, in School of Mystics, and certainly our newsletter, certainly. But when I was doing a lot of coaching, and somebody came to me, and they said one of two things. They said, I'm thinking of changing careers. I kind of like jump and try to hide under the desk. Or I'm thinking of getting a divorce. You know what happened in both of those circumstances? And I used to do a free initial consult. And so I'd speak with them. I don't remember how long it was, 20, 30 minutes. And I'd listen and I'd suggest how I might be able to help or what they can do right away, even if they don't go for coaching. But when they'd say one of those two things, if they said, I'm thinking of leaving my job or I'm thinking of starting a new career, what almost inevitably would happen is a week or two later, I would get an email from them. Dear Michael, I'm sorry. I really wanted to start coaching with you, but I just lost my job. And so I'm not going to be able to at this time. Or if they said they were thinking of a divorce, Dear Michael, I'm going through a very chaotic period right now because my wife has just told me, or her husband has just told me, and on it goes. What does this mean? It doesn't mean that when you think about something bad is going to happen. And actually, the powerful thoughts or the positive thoughts are 10 times more powerful than those, quote, negative ones. Meaning, if you have a fear-based thought, that you're putting a little something out into the universe. If you have a positive thought, you're putting a lot of something out into the universe. So don't worry about those fear-based thoughts. But what it means is, when people came to me to see about coaching, what they were really saying is, I need help making great change. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my heart. This wasn't working for me. Help me to find that new thing. And the universe, because they stepped forward toward me, it has nothing to do with me. I didn't even coach them yet. Because they stepped forward towards me, the universe said, bing, your wish is my command. Let's free you up so that something even better can come your way. That's what this time period is. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's Pollyannish, meaning that it's just, all puppies and roses. This is a real time period. This is a challenging time period. This is a very serious time period. This is a time period where it is life or death is a funny word because there's life after life. But where your physical presence can be threatened. That's real. But your perception changes matter or changes the material world. That's one of the two messages tonight is your perception changes the material world because you are the creator, you are the master, you are all powerful. You are literally an enlightened master who came here on earth at this time to learn even more, to grow, to expand, and maybe, just maybe, to help others as well. So that's a big piece of the puzzle for tonight. The other piece is to connect in with everything you've got. Connect into spirit. Connect to source. Connect to... Always careful when I move this statuette. Connect with your Archangel Michael, who has a mighty sword, but walks through the earth in a state of peace because he's connected at the highest level. This is what I want for you. This is your birthright. Your birthright is to plug in at the highest level and walk through the world from there. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about automatic writing now. I'm going to take a few questions. We're going to keep it nice and short and tight and sweet. I may or may not do a short meditation at the end. I might do a really short one. That's my guess. And then I'm going to get into honeymoon part deux, uh, packing mode here. And because we have a dear, dear friend who's staying to take care of the kitties while we go, it means we're all in one cozy room right now. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to do the packing when Hannah Bear goes to sleep, because the room that I need to pack in is the room that she's going to be sleeping in. But we shall see what I can do. All right, so I've got all this cool stuff coming up. I've got a regular automatic writing class tomorrow, a live class for automatic writing participants. We've got the School of Mystics Wednesday, and hello, School of Mystics, Mystics who are in the chat right now. I love you guys. 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 And we have a 4-week class with Mike Dooley. Now that one is recorded except for the last event. The last event will be a live Q&A with Mike Dooley and myself. But it's a really high energy, high vibration, fun time. Very inexpensive as well. It's $29.95 and up. That's the least cost that I've ever offered for an automatic writing anything. And it's 4 weeks where you will learn and grow and plug in and expand your consciousness and feel better and shift your life and be able to communicate with the other side, whether it's your angels, whether it's your guides, whether it's your loved ones, whether it's ascendant masters, on and on it goes. And shift your perspective on the world. And so I cannot recommend it enough. I know Aya Bear is going to put the link down there. Let me see if I can grab it here. I'm not so much the chat person while I am talking. Da, 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 da. I think I put it down there. Yeah. No, maybe that might have been Aya Bear who put that down there. Thank you, Aya Bear. But it will be really, really really fun, and we had a lot of fun making it. So I highly recommend automatic writing, School of Mystics, sitting under a tree, finding your own special group, doing whatever it is that works for you. But plug in each and every day. Somebody, Izzy's asking a question, and I think this goes along with it. How do I better identify what energy is my own and what energy I'm picking up on externally? Izzy, this is where it helps to have a process, not meaning to make a shameless plug. I've done enough on the shameless plug, but have to help a process where you can get outside of yourself so you can see back into yourself. Once you start doing that, get outside of yourself so you can see back inside of yourself. Once you start doing that, it becomes much easier to discern. So this is the question that a lot of students ask when they first get into automatic writing. How do I know who's actually doing the writing? How do I know what's me? How do I know what I'm making it up? How do I know what's coming from the angels' guides? The more that you play in this energy, the easier it is to discern, the easier it is to be able to tell. And that makes all the difference in the world. It's really a question of a feeling state that comes with practice. Izzy, over time, you will be able to feel, this is my energy. I wake up nervous. There was a day last week I woke up nervous. What do we have? The email system blew up or something. I woke up really nervous and I'm going, what is this? And so I'm looking in the news. Nope, don't see anything there. What is this? I'm looking everywhere that I can find. I'm going, this energy doesn't feel like mine, until I found out our whole email system or a server had blown up. I could discern and tell this wasn't my energy. That's what I want for you too. So, all right, let's go into some questions here. I'm going to drink some water, and we're going to do our best to take as many questions as we can in a short period of time. And then we'll go into a meditation. Sandra Irene asks, how do we remain grounded? Catherine, the link of Mystics doesn't stay on that page. Aya Bear, can you make sure that a correct School of Mystics link is there for everybody presently? And I am going to direct hotline Aya Bear and say, can you make sure everyone has the correct link to the School of Mystics with this week's class for free? So if she didn't hear me, she will get that there in the chat. All right, let's go back at it. How do we remain grounded? And that's actually what we're teaching in this month's School of Mystics. And we actually have a class this Wednesday about plugging into the core, plugging into the center, as if you're plugging into the very center, the iron core of the earth itself, which is really plugging into the central sun or the core of the universe. And from this place, Sandra, you cannot be pulled away. So your visualization for tonight, and I'm teaching a huge class on this on Wednesday, is to imagine simply roots going from your tailbone down into the earth, roots going from your feet deep into the earth, and sort of like a cable from a mountain climber hooking into the very center of this planet, or very center core of this planet, a cable that holds you tight, holds you secure, and keeps you feeling this power, this plugged in, this safety, and this security, no matter what comes your way. And if you want to join us, it's free to try. If you want to join us this Wednesday, we're going to be doing some visualizations and attunements that are going to take this on Wednesday in the School of Mystics to a whole new level. From Mary, how do we know who's really coming through when we do automatic writing? This is interesting, Mary, because it was something I was talking about with Suzanne Giesman this week, who has her own process as well. She knows that it's her guides, but she's not particularly concerned about which guide it is when she goes to the highest level. So in automatic writing, I can actually ask, is it a mentor? Is it a guide? Is it a loved one? And at this point, I will often get an answer. Not so much so when I say, which angel is speaking to me? Because it usually is, if there's one angel, or whatever we want to call an angel, there's another angel, or there's one angel, then there's two angels behind him, then there's two angels behind them, and then there's two angels behind them, and you have this whole legion, or dare I say, army of angels or guides helping you. So in that sense, it's not important, but there are techniques you can use going into automatic writing to ensure that you are going to the highest level assistance. So you're going in assistance that is most helpful rather than, say, trickster energy, because we always want to go to that highest level. Can we ask specifically? Yes. Do they always answer? No. What I found for myself is, after all of these years that are doing it, I'll know when it's a guardian angel. I know when it's a particular loved one on the other side. Although even that gets a little interesting, but I won't know more than that. My daughter Miraku, who is the twin sister of Hanaber, literally, physically, not metaphorically, but Hanaber was a twin in the womb, and one of the twins, her sister, didn't make it in this physicality. And I connect with her on automatic writing. Her name is Miraku, which means miracle. And Hanaber calls her Miku. And Hanaber says that she plays with her every night and sometimes plays with her during the day as well. So cool. She is my main guide on the other side. And she will bring in different angels. She will even call on Archangel Michael. And so the conversation with Miku starts to get very fluid. She's like, oh, daddy, I got this. Here, let me tell you all about this. And all of a sudden it goes from her voice, it goes to a we, it goes to this booming voice, it goes back to her, and it just does this dance all over the place as the right voice or the right guide or the right being steps forward to help guide me on my way. This is an interesting question from Fallon. When Michael mentioned in Daily Woohoo about attuning yourself to 432 hertz of Schumann's resonance, actually, I never said specifically 432 hertz, but attuning to 432 hertz of Schumann's resonance to help ascend. Does this apply to those vibrating at a much higher level than 432 hertz? Actually, I didn't go to hertz. I said Schumann's resonance, with the resonance of the earth. If you're vibrating at a higher frequency than the vibration of the earth, well, that's great. You can still plug into the earth. In fact, if you're vibrating at a much higher level, you may want to plug into the earth so that you are still grounded at this time, because it is from our physical state that we can actually manifest the most. If we're simply flitting around here ungrounded, it is very hard to actually manifest in the physical world. So we want that balance of two. cheese taco. How do I know that I'm not joining a cult? Well, I'm not sure if you're talking about School of Mystics. If you feel it's cultish, please don't join. How do I know I'm not joining a cult if I'm doing automatic writing? You're going to your angels and guides. If we want to call that a cult, you don't have to do it either. Here's the thing, and a story for another day, but we do have personal experience with cult. You have to follow, you get to follow, you want to follow your heart. That's what's most important during this time. Following your heart. That makes all the difference in the world. And there, from that place, we get to learn how to be the most discerning. Deb V. If a person isn't plugged in, they aren't grounded, will they be left behind? Or die because they aren't connected or accept the change? That's not how I'm seeing it, Deb. I'm seeing it as they may have a harder path, a harder way, a harder life. I'm hearing Annie and It's a Hard Knock Life. They may have the hard knock life. It doesn't mean that you may not have the hard knock life as well, but your perception of reality will be different. You can have a day where things blow up and you can say, heck, what was my newsletter today? My newsletter today was called The Daily Woo-Hoo. It was about visiting my parents last week, which was just a crazy, chaotic time. And one of the craziest, most chaotic days I have ever had in my adult life. Let's see if I can find what this was called. And I could call it a terrible, terrible day, which is one reality. Or what I called it is, in my Daily Woohoo newsletter this morning, such a beautiful upside down day. Can you see the difference? Such a beautiful upside down day. That is a very different reality. Does it mean, though, that one is still here and one is going to get blown off of this planet? That's not how I'm seeing it. What I'm seeing it is one will have a very different reality or experience here on Earth, and they tend to have a compounding effect. If your reality is what a beautiful upside down day, you're likely to have another more beautiful, hopefully not as upside down day, another beautiful, another beautiful, another beautiful. If you have a holy crap or oh my God, that was an awful day. And if you focus on, oh my God, that was awful. I feel so miserable. I feel so terrible. Can I say this without judging? I'm going to share something that I'm trying my best to say without judging because I send so much love to this other individual. I was at LabCorp. I was at LabCorp last week getting some blood work done. And their whole system had blown up. And forgive me if I've already told too much of this story. Their whole system had blown up. And tried to help out a bunch of people there in whatever way I could. Was told to come back in a while and they would do their best to get me in. I came back in a while and went up to the front counter and or was near the front counter, and they said, we'll take you back. And I'm like, but wait a second. These people were in front of me. These people were before me. These people were before me. They need to go first. And there was this woman off to the side, and she said to me, she said, I am so upset at this other person who cut the line. Thank you so much for saying that you were not going to take that spot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then she went back to talking to her friend and said, I can't wait to get home and tell people how nasty this person was for cutting in front of my mom. Not me, but somebody else. I'm sending her all the love in the world and I'm not judging. But there were two realities operating there. There was the reality of, wow, we just turned this into a positive experience for people. Wow, we just made people feel so much better. And there was the reality of, I'm going to feel so much better by sharing how much misery was in this experience. Those are the two different worlds that are possible or probable at this time. One will have a ripple effect of even more goodness and positivity happening. One will have a ripple effect of even harder energy happening until you choose that other way. The good thing is you can choose it at any moment. Thank you, Deb. You can choose it at any single moment. It's totally up to you. All right, from Crystal Lambert. How do I deal with the reality that though I get to check out, others don't? How do I deal with the reality that though I get to check out? I'm not sure what you mean, Crystal, but though I get to check out, others don't. It could be And this is something I think I spoke with Sheila Gillette earlier this week. And I said, we are in a very, not luxurious, but I'm going to use that word, luxurious position where we're doing well and we have an easier time weathering these storms that many other people do right now. And we do. I'm really, really lucky. And I really do get to make some sort of a manifestation course because I am really, really lucky and blessed. Hugely so. And I get it. And there are those who are in a much more challenging position. And at the same time, no matter how challenging the position, we can still play with our energy. So forgive me, not going into politics, but I have a hard time getting the images out of my head about, and if you're not following any of the news, shut off the sound for the next 10 or 20 seconds. So just shut off the sound, shut off the sound, shut off the sound. And I'll wave when it's okay to put the sound back on. Okay, people shutting off the sound. I have a very hard time seeing the people that have been sent out of this country to some very heavy-handed prisons for which, even if they're completely innocent, they will not stand a chance of getting out for the next year. No mattresses. The conditions are just, from what I've read, and maybe what I've read is completely false. And if so, please forgive me. Unfathomable conditions. And I feel for them and how hard that must be. And at the same time, they can use this as, if they choose to, I want to say ninja training, energy ninja training to an extreme. This is how we had a new president end apartheid in South Africa. This is what Dalai Lama and the monks went through coming out of Tibet. If they can choose in this time to stay centered in their hearts with everything they've got, they will be transformed, not despite the circumstances, but even because of it. It doesn't make light of the circumstances. And I send love, I'm with you, Michelle. I send love, I send love, I send love, I send love, I send kindness, I send compassion. And I hope for a beautiful outcome for everyone. Everyone is our brother and sister. I don't care what you're labeled. Everyone is our brother and sister. Everyone is our mother and father. Everyone is us in our infinitude of disguises. Everyone. And at the same time, it's the choices we want to make on the inside during our experiences. Let's take just a few more questions here, and then we'll go into a super brief meditation. Lisa, I'm going to give you Suzanne Giesman's answer to this question. How do we determine what lies and truth are these days? It seems we question everything. Lisa, from automatic writing, so I'm going to give you my version, I'm going to give you Suzanne's version, I'm going to give you the automatic writing version or something like that. Automatic writing, I tend to get a lot more clarity on what's going on, but not all of it. I get more than enough to go through this world, but what I'm told is nothing is, it's all right now. I don't even know if the mirrors still in cars still say this. The mirrors used to say, objects in mirror are not as they appear to be, or objects in mirror are nearer than they appear to be. Everything we're seeing is story and different levels of story, and nothing is as it appears to be. Nothing. What Suzanne says is, I've given up. And this is, Suzanne Giesman was a commander who, in her own words, was the right-hand man of the whole chief of the U.S. military, the chief of the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. She had an office in the White House. She flew around in Air Force, Air Force Two, is that what it's called? She was as high up as it gets. And right now, if you say, well, what do you think of the news? She'll tell you, on a human level, it's like, But she's like, I can't even begin to know what's true right now. And she's still probably got top security clearance. I can't begin to tell what's true. And at the same time, she would agree with me here. She can feel into things, and from that knowing state, have a big picture idea of what's going on. Thank you, Jax. And that's what's most important. I'm hearing right now, the devil is in the details. If we get too wrapped up in the details, we get in big trouble. Now, I'm very particular. If you say, Michael, that's you're borderline being political. I don't have a political bone in my body, but I do have a love bone in my body. What does that mean? It means I look at everything from the lens of love. And I challenge everyone and everything and every leader. Act more from love. Act from love. Don't act from fear. Don't act from malice. Don't act from revenge. Act from love. That's the leadership that I wish to see. It goes beyond parties. There ain't no such thing as a party. It's why I say I love the zebras. Are you a red? Are you blue? I'm a zebra. And there are no sides on a round planet. But I am very discerning about looking for the stories coming from love and pumping even more love back into the system to change the stories and to change leadership, to be so loving. Jack, you're right. I'm the political party of love. Where do I cast my vote, Jack? Let me know I'm down with it. I will vote now, or I will vote as the joke went this year and is for so many times. I will vote early and I will vote often. I will vote for love. Paul Blart. How do I know what or who I am connecting with? When you go into automatic writing, we put you in this bubbled state, this most amazing state where you're connecting to source, you're connecting to the universe, you're connecting to your guides at the highest level. It's not like a Ouija board where you're just, moving things around on a board or moving around the butterfly net above, below, around, and just catching whatever spirit comes by. It's a very controlled environment through automatic writing so that you're only going to the highest level assistance. And while I said earlier you don't always know who is coming in to speak with you, you can actually laser target in. Tania belongs to the love party. Woohoo! You can laser target in who you want to speak with. So maybe I want to speak with Miku. Maybe I want to speak with, I got to do that race earlier this week. And I'm driving to this race, and it was too cool that this actually worked. I'm driving to this race, and there's a quarter mile to cars parked on the side of the road on one side, a quarter mile cars parked on the other side, and I'm not there very early. I have to get registered. I have to get ready fast. And one of the tricks I use is I can go to specific guides. In this case, it's my grandma Kramer. And I go to grandma, and I'm like, help me. And I took a photo. I actually got the first parking spot, the one closest to the entrance. Thank you. That does not always happen, but you can actually laser target in. It did happen twice that day. Laser target in on just the person that you want to speak to in automatic writing, or just the angel or guide. Izzy, okay, we've answered Izzy's, and then G Quest. For the last question of the evening. And I love everybody. So if I didn't get to your question, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'd love to answer them next time. We're just keeping it a little bit on the shorter side here tonight. So G-Quest has the question, which is, how does Archangel Michael help multiple people at the exact same time? In my layperson's understanding, meaning the me that's speaking to you is still on this side of the veil. There's a me that's connected and everywhere, but the me that's speaking to you is still on this side of the veil. So I can't pretend to see the actual inner workings or dynamics of how it's going on. However, time ain't real, space ain't real, and that dude's got a lot of mojo. So if time's not real, you can go everywhere at every moment. If space is not real, you don't even have to go everywhere at every moment. You are everywhere at every moment. And because that dude's got a lot of energy going on, he can be helping an infinitude of people. Let's be honest, angels are neither he nor she. They are very balanced. We can call them by different names. I don't recall, somebody will put in the chat, the feminine name for Archangel Michael as well. But he, she, they, shall we say, can be everywhere all at once, doing an infinite amount of good without it being taxing. Now, to me, what I understand, and I said it, and I heard that I'm not the first who said it, which makes sense. And Susanna said it, and she's heard it from others, and they've heard it from others. And Rhonda Byrne, I heard, may have been one of the earliest people to say it, and I'm sure there are people who said it before then. Angels Live? Is that the right expression? They draw energy from helping you. And angels have literally been on the unemployment line in a sense because they don't have enough, in a sense, work to do because we haven't been calling on them. And so what we really get to do at this time is ask and plug in at the highest level, which means you get a lot of assistance. It makes you feel better. They get to do a lot of help. This is one of the things I've had to learn in life. Accepting help even when you don't need it. Accepting help even when you don't need it. Why? Because what you don't realize is the person that wants to help you gets something positive out of helping you. And so we don't want to turn that down when possible. We want to accept that assistance in. That's what happens with the angels. We help the angels by allowing them to help us as well. And that brings us right back to one last plug for, and then we'll do a really, really brief meditation here for automatic writing course I'm doing. It's called the Automatic Writing 4-week, 21-day adventure with Mike Dooley and myself, beginning this Thursday. Not so much live. It is recorded for 4 sessions plus a live Q&A with Mike Dooley and myself at the end. Only $29.95. Would love to have you there. Would love to see you there. Oh my God, is it a life-changing experience and beautiful, amazing energy as well. And it's Mike Dooley. He's fun. Me? I've been known to be fun on occasion too. We'll put that link right down. Oh, Aya Bear beat me to it. We'll put that link down there. Oh, Michelle, sending so much love your way, sending so much love to everyone. My 11-year-old Mikey says, hi, Michael, from Tanya. We love you. It's a family affair here in Miami, Florida. Tanya, I'm flying through. I say hi. I'm flying down to Miami tomorrow before taking off to Costa Rica. So sending love to Mikey. Last note, the race this past weekend that I was at, I'm there for the awards ceremony at the end. Not an award for me. I'm there for the awards ceremony. And at the end of the awards ceremony, the co-organizer, turns to one of the other co-organizers and says, I want to do this with you for life. I want to just do this again and again and again, or something like that. It was much better than that. And she's like, that's so sweet. And then he got off of the awards podium and he got down on his knee and he proposed to her. It was one of the sweetest things. You see that in the movies. I don't know if I've ever seen that in person, and it was just, and she of course said yes. It was the coolest, sweetest thing, and I bring that up because his name is Mickey, and so we've got Mikey here, and we've got Mike or Michael, or I also go by Mikey here on occasion, at least according to Alexa. But I send Mikey all my love. All right. So I'm going to take a sip of water. We're going to dive into a meditation. I look forward to seeing people for our automatic writing, of course, for School of Mystics this week. And we have a coupon code where you can try it for a week for free, School of Mystics, and come join me where we're going to get you grounded this week. Oh, and next week, huge clearing. So this week's School of Mystics will be from Costa Rica, and then next week's will be a huge clearing event from here on our one day that we're back before, because we'll fly in here. We'll fly to Costa Rica. We'll come back from our honeymoon. We'll be here for the day. I'll teach automatic writing. I'll do a clearing. And then we go to my parents to help them on their journey back up north, and helping get some more things in order there too. It's a very helpful time period. It may be a very helpful time period for you, and I'd love to be a part of that if you'd like to. If you'd like the love and camaraderie in any way, shape, or form. Mystics, automatic writing, Daily Woohoo. I don't promote it enough. Daily Woohoo newsletter where I bring you up each and every day. And people in the chat can tell you all about that as well. So, all right, let us go into a beautiful, super short meditation here. Ice Fear, wisdom depends on the unwise until it doesn't. I get to think about that. Tawanda, honeymoon baby. Honeymoon anyway, we will say that. Michelle, have a wonderful trip. And Michelle, I'll see you on Wednesday, one of our School of Mystics members. I will see you from Costa Rica. So we last note. We got to get out of our bubble. We get to get out of our bubble. We said we need to step back and we need this real bonding experience. And so we booked booked before looking. We use it look before you leap. We leapt before we looked. And we said, how can we make this all work? So we knew we were doing our classes. We love our classes. I love our mystics. I love our automatic writing participants. So I get to do that. And then we're not going to do interviews. We're just going to clear our space and we're just going to go and play. I'm thinking of that pool. I got Honey Bear flippers. They didn't fit. So I have to see about getting other flippers, but we are going to play in Costa Rica and we are going to play in that pool. All right, let's get into a meditation, shall we? And I'm feeling so much love. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Yes, Catherine. Oh, God. We'll call that the love boat. The love boat. If you send Michelle, if you send an email to get to me, you want to send one to Aya Bear. Well, Michelle, hopefully Aya Bear is okay with me saying this. Aya@InspireNationShow.com. That will get to Aya Bear. There we go. Oh, thank you, Danuta. I'm feeling the love here tonight. I hope you are too. All right. Sandra's heading to Costa Rica in May. I think it may be cooler in May. We're picking the hot time. It's just how it worked out. All right. Love you, Kathleen. Love you, Marjorie. El Tabacon. I'll look it up. I will absolutely look it up. Okay. Here we go. I don't even know what we're doing for meditation. And I hear Honey Bear in the other room, and I get to go to her, so we're going to make this super short and sweet. Thank you to all the mystics. Thank you to the Dream Team members. Thank you, Aya Bear. Thank you, everyone. And now let us thank you. So let's close our eyes. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. In and out. As we keep on breathing nice and slow and deeply in and out through the nose. As I love to do, we're going to form a nice giant circle here. I almost feel like saying a mariachi circle. Or mariachi. We're going to feel a nice giant circle here of everybody listening and watching this, past, future, and present. So you take hands to the person to your right. Take the hand of the person to your left. We kind of lean together to the right, all as one. And to the left as one. We breathe in together. And out together. In together. Out together. In and out. As we keep on breathing in and out together, I want you to imagine that there is a giant mirrory pool before you. It's almost like a pool of giant mercury, if you can imagine that. It is perfectly reflective. It's perfectly silver. And oh my gosh, you almost want to throw just a tiny little stone in the center and see the most amazing ripples go out. But what this is the perfect, most magnificent reflection. A most incredible future, an incredible version of you ever imaginable. What does that mean? Well, if you've ever heard the Hermetic expression, as above, so below, it is real. It means whatever you imagine in your heart, you can see before your very eyes. And right now, this is a group intention meditation. You are surrounded by hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people wishing the same thing together. A better, brighter, healthier, hopeful future for all of us. And so what you can do right now is you can pause for a moment, put your hand on your heart, and say, heart, what do I really, really want? What do I really, really want? Now look up at the heavens for a second. Look at some poofy clouds. There's a stork or a bird going by, or an eagle, or a goose. But look up in the sky for a moment, imagining what you want, feeling what you want, seeing what you want, believing what you want. And now look down in that magical mirror pool before you and see it realized. Maybe it's a new job, a new home, financial security, your own trip to Costa Rica, whatever it may be for you. Healthy parents, healthy kids, anything or everything. But take a moment to massage your heart. Tell yourself, wow, oh wow, oh wow. I can't believe it's real. And see and feel this future in the mirror pool before you, the world's largest, most incredible, hyperdimensional TV. I'm going to go quiet now. Take 30 seconds to look deep into the most magical, mystical future of you. Can you feel that dream come true? Can you sense it? Can you touch it? Can you taste it? Can you almost dive right into the mirror pool and live that existence right here, right now, in this very moment? Now it's a mirrory reflection coming out of the sky. You don't have to have all the details. But can you see, feel, almost touch, taste, and experience that future that you desire? I'll let you in on a little secret. That future is here. It's yours. It's now, because time is not real, or something even greater. And why? Well, not just because you felt it in your heart, but because you have so many loved ones, that's all of us, around this mirror pool, all pulling for you, all sharing their energy, all sharing that love just for you, right here, right now, in this very moment. Is it real? Oh, you betcha. Does it work? More than you could ever imagine. For you, literally, through this magical, mystical mirror pool, literally just transformed your life and just changed the course of your very, very existence to the core. And as you come back, or feel free to stay at this mirror pool, heck, do a dance around the mirror pool. Look for other images, share other images, see other images in the mirror pool. But as you come back, knowing something magnificent will manifest and will realize out of this very experience and is already here and waiting for you, even if it takes a little quote-unquote time to appear. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? It's real, it's happening, it's coming out of the mirror pool, and I send all my love your way. Woohoo! So I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming events. Terry just asked, what if I already joined automatic writing? Do I have to pay? Well, there's the automatic writing class that I have once a month. That's tomorrow. That's going to be from Costa Rica. Oh my God, tomorrow night it'll be from Costa Rica. Come join us. If you're already in automatic writing, come join us. The Mike Dooley class, that's something different. I think it's a sliding scale, whatever you'd like to pay. I think it starts at $29.95. There's the link there to come join us. Let's see if I can put the link down. I know Aya Bear can put there. There it is there. So that one I can't gift you participation if you don't have the money to attend anything. Don't be bashful. We offer scholarships. Write us a note. Drop us a line. Let's help you out. Let's help everybody out. If I can shift your energy and you can shift somebody else's energy and you can shift somebody else's energy and they're shifting, if we shift the heck out of this place, and shift will really happen and happen quickly. And how does it get any better than this? So lots of love. Hope to see you tomorrow, or see you Wednesday, or see you Thursday, or see you in another one of these YouTube live events, or get the daily woohoo if nothing else, and let me help you raise your vibration each and every day. And how does it get any better than this? Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Aya Bear. Thank you, Ann Bear. Thank you, Super Bobster. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Tony. Thank you to all Dream members. Thank you, Mama Bear, aka the Pookie, and Baby Bear, also known as Hannah Bear. Thank you, Nancy, and thank you. And there's so many more people that I want to thank. I could start with Mary and Venus and Red Robin and Michelle and Dawn and Deb and Fallon, and I could just go on and on. All right, lots of love. And now, I'll thank my sister, who's going to share with you this most beautiful music. It's the award-winning singer and producer, literally my sister, Ayla Ray. So lots of love, everyone. We'll get those links here one more time, and we'll make sure they are pinned to the top of the chat comments and in the description as well. So lots of love, and I'll see you soon for automatic writing and mystics. And how does it get any better than this? Woohoo! Thanks, Michelle. Feeling love here as well. Be well, everyone.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations.